The Toronto Maple Leafs are facing a roster shakeup that could change everything for this season. With key players sidelined due to injuries and a suspension, two young talents have stepped up to make their case. Will these new faces transform the team's fortunes? Stay tuned to find out. Don't forget to subscribe and like to keep up with all the latest updates on the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs are in a bit of a shuffle right now, and it's all due to injuries and suspensions. Ryan Reaves is serving a 5-game ban, which has significantly depleted the forward group. Just this week, David Kampf was placed on long-term injured reserve due to a lower body injury, which opened the door for Fraser Minten to be called up from the Toronto Marlies. And as if that wasn't enough, Max Domi joined the growing list of injuries, which led to Nikita Grebenkin being summoned from the minors. Injuries are piling up, and it's a tough situation for the Leafs. Domi might be eligible to return as early as Sunday's home game against the Utah Hockey Club, but honestly, it could be wise for him to sit out a few more games to avoid any long-term complications. He hasn't found the back of the net in 19 games this season, and it's clear he's been struggling. Meanwhile, Kampf's injury is less noticeable, but he'll be out until at least December 14th. On top of that, Max Pacioretty and Kaye Jarnkrok are also on the long-term injured reserve, making this a challenging time for the team. Then there's Austin Matthews. He's missed 6 consecutive games with an upper body injury and won't be playing against the Vegas Golden Knights. There was some concern when the team announced he was in Munich for treatment, but they've reassured fans that he's not facing any setbacks. It sounds like Matthews is working closely with the team doctor, and there's still hope for a return during the upcoming road trip against the Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning later this month. With all these injuries, the Leafs have had to dig deep into their roster. Alex Steeves was called up earlier this month and made his season debut against the Washington Capitals, showing promise with 3 shots on goal. He's been tearing it up in the AHL with 9 goals and 12 points in just 10 games, so it's great to see him getting a chance at the NHL level. Minten and Grebenkin will join Steeves in the lineup against the Golden Knights, and both have been impressive in the AHL. Minten, just 20 years old, has already made a splash with 2 goals and 2 assists in 5 games after recovering from an ankle sprain. Grebenkin has also produced well, notching 4 goals and 10 points in 13 games. Now, let's talk about what this all means for the future of the Maple Leafs. Minten has long been seen as a potential solution for the team's third-line center vacancy. While he may not have had enough time to fully develop in the AHL, his talent and versatility could make him a valuable asset sooner than expected. Grebenkin finds himself in a similar boat, and while his position might not be as critical, his strong performances in training camp have certainly turned heads. Will Minten and Grebenkin be the long-term answers for the Leafs? Probably not, but they have the chance to make a significant impact while they're up. If they can prove they're ready to contribute at the NHL level, it could influence the team's decisions leading up to the trade deadline on March 7th. Even when the team is healthy, depth will always be a concern, and acquiring additional right-wingers is something the Leafs should consider. These recent moves are not just about filling immediate gaps, they're about setting the stage for the future. If Minten and Grebenkin can deliver quality performances, they might just elevate their profiles and steer the management's decisions as they approach the trade deadline. It's crucial for them to make a strong impression during this time. So, what do you think? Was calling up Minten and Grebenkin the right move? I'm honestly torn here. I see the potential, but I also wonder if it's too soon for these young guys. What are your thoughts? I want to hear from you in the comments below. Craig Berube made a surprising decision regarding Mitch Marner's position, which has been a hot topic for Toronto Maple Leafs fans. With the center position being a glaring weakness for the team, there were high hopes that Marner could step in and bring some much-needed versatility to the lineup. However, after evaluating the situation, Berube has opted to give the reins to Pontus Holmberg for the third-line center spot against Vegas on Wednesday night. Now, let's break this down a bit. Marner has been a phenomenal player for the Leafs, showing he can score and assist at elite levels. But the question remains, does moving him to center really unlock his full potential? I, for one, am torn on this decision. Holmberg, on the other hand, has struggled offensively this season, tallying just 2 assists so far. It's a far cry from his previous production, which raised expectations among fans and analysts alike. Holmberg has a lot of untapped potential and the size that Berube typically favors in a center, but it's frustrating to see him falter when we know he has the capability to be a solid top 6 player in the league. He's shown flashes of brilliance in his earlier seasons, but right now, it seems like he's fighting through a rough patch. He needs to step up and deliver consistent scoring. 12 to 15 goals this season would be ideal if he wants to secure his spot. What's intriguing about Holmberg is his two-way game. He's decent in face-offs and plays a responsible defensive game, which is critical in today's NHL. But can he rise to the occasion against a tough opponent like Vegas? If he can find his stride, it could really ease the burden on the entire team and specifically on Berube. The coaching staff needs Holmberg to contribute, especially given the pressure mounting on this roster to perform. As fans, we want to see our team succeed, and every decision made impacts our hopes for a deep playoff run. Keeping Marner on the wing could arguably allow him to be more effective in generating offense, but the need for a strong center is undeniable. It's a balancing act. Do you sacrifice Marner's playmaking ability to shore up the middle, or do you trust Holmberg to finally break out of his slump? I believe that this decision could have ramifications for the future of the Leafs. If Holmberg can't deliver, we might see more experimentation with the lineup as the season progresses. And let's be honest, with the stakes higher than ever, fans are holding their breath, hoping this gamble pays off. So, what do you think? Was giving Holmberg the chance at center the right move, or should Berube have taken a different route? I'm genuinely conflicted on this one. I want to believe in Holmberg's potential, but it feels risky given the current state of the team. And you, what are your expectations? Are you hopeful that he'll rise to the occasion, or are you worried this could spell trouble for our playoff aspirations? Let's get the conversation going in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts, your frustrations, and your hopes for this season. Remember to like this video, share it with fellow Leafs fans, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any updates on our beloved team. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay in the loop with all the latest news and analysis. Let's rally together as we support the Maple Leafs through this roller coaster of a season.